basement, me, my pen and my pad. Started thinking about things I never had. Was broke as a joke, ain't never laughed.
I'm going to try to keep my composure today. I'm really going to try. What's good, y'all? It's your boy, Foots RPA. Always keep it a stack, always keep it a buck. This was supposed to be a feel-good Friday video. We're talking Super Bowl. We're talking positives. But nevertheless, Nick Sirianni, Daryl Morey just have to continue to just pursue their not smart habits, their not smart ways. And we're here today on a Thursday. And the Eagles and the Sixers both lost people in the last 24 hours that it really just makes you scratch your head. And we're going to start with the team in green. Jeff Stoutland. Jeff Stoutland is one of, if not the best position coaches 21st century in the NFL. Dominant O-line after dominant O-line, whether it's the lineup, Jason Peters, Kelsey, I'm forgetting the left guard, Sale Malu, Brandon Brooks, real OGs know about Brandon Brooks, Lane Johnson's been there, whether it's Tyler Steen, Mekhi Becton, whether it's Mailata, Dickerson, Juergens, Toth, he's cooked with everyone that's been there. And this is pretty much what happened. So imagine you're at your job. You're very good at your job. You've worked up in the company and 20 plus years of service. Like you're renowned, you're revered. And then some new guy with no experience just comes in, starts questioning what you're doing, starts trying to change it up. That is what Nick Sirianni and Kevin Patullo did. And we're going to read this. We'll put it up. But this was an ESPN story. Things were less harmonious this past season. Injuries to right tackle, Lane Johnson and others along the front played a part in the ground game's regression, but there were other dynamics at play. With the offense stagnant, head coach Nick Sirianni took a more active role over the latter part of the season. He and then OC Kevin Patullo, White Ozama, began incorporating different run designs in an effort to kickstart the operation. Stoutland was not consulted about the changes to what he felt was an appropriate degree, a league source said, to the point where he no longer desired the title of run game coordinator because he felt it no longer fit his job description. Nick Sirianni and Kevin Patullo made a guy, once again, renowned, revered, the best at his craft in the league for a decade plus, quit his job. He said, I would rather leave this great organization than stay another year with you fools. Okay, what does Nick Sirianni do besides ruin coaching staffs, hire best friends from inside the organization, ruin offenses? Now we're starting to see why AJ Brown was hot and how this is on Nick Sirianni and not on Jalen Hurts. Now we're starting to see, because when people, I get hot when people try to go and say Jalen Hurts this, Jalen Hurts that, AJ Brown this, AJ Brown that. Yes, AJ Brown had his moments this season. Yes, Jalen Hurts had his moment this season. But to read stuff like this and to see one of the best people in his craft get kicked to the curb essentially because other fools don't know what the hell they're doing. This, it's ridiculous. It's asinine. And it cannot continue. Nick Sirianni, you're on the hot seat. And hey, Sean Mannion is either going to take Nick Sirianni's job or he's going to get fired. There's two options here. We're going to get into Vic Fangio, his situation, why the likelihood of, even though Y'all know I would have loved VC, Vic as my defensive coordinator, but but it's probably not going to happen. But this, once again, we're going to go one more time for people in the back that are trying to be like, well, the running game clearly wasn't going on, so they had to try to go a new direction. Jeff Stoutland has made average players look like superstar linemen. Jeff Stoutland, decade plus, revered, best at his craft, in the 21st century position coach. Osama Patullo and buddy Nick Sirianni come in because the run game is not great, because guys are actually dinged, guys are injured, guys are not putting forth the effort, and try to deviate and cut Jeff Stoutland out. That is what happened. That is what we're seeing. And once again, why do you think AJ Brown is so frustrated? Why do you think Jalen Hurts is so frustrated? The guy with the most experience on the offensive staff is being cut out by fools, by bums. That is what is happening. That is what is happening here. And we won't let it stand. Shout out Miles Johnson, keeping it real, as well. A couple other guys, Philly Pod with RB. But this, you guys know, this is just unserious. It's a joke. It's embarrassing. And hopefully this will make, Jeff Stoutland believed to have had several arguments with Nick and Kevin this past season. At one point, Jeff banged his head into an Eagles locker room screaming, "Stop running the hitch routes. They're not working." So it wasn't just me yelling at my TV. Stop running BS play calls that even practice squad defenses like the San Francisco 49ers can tell is coming. And so it wasn't just me. So I'm not an idiot. So I actually know what I'm talking about. Nick Sirianni, your days are numbered. There's nothing more to say. For stuff like this, it's extremely telling. But we're not gonna let's go over real quick to a guy that is staying with the organization. Let's talk about Vic Fangio. Vic Fangio staying is big, and when I'm saying it's big, you already lost Christian Parker. Clint hurt. He was getting some calls, I think. And this is the couple of the guys on this defense really need Vic Fangio's coaching. Exhibit A, Andrew Mukuba. Now, people, I think, saw the impact of not having Andrew Mukuba and having to really rely on Sidney Brown and Reed Blankenship in coverage. Because let's be, bro, Reed Blankenship, I love Reed Blankenship. Reed Blankenship, dude, Reed in coverage, man. Sometimes I just put my head down and pray, like, please don't let the tight end moss him again. Please, God, not today. And then Sidney Brown, y'all know most Eagles fans know how they feel about Sidney Brown. Keep him on special teams, gunner. Let him run it all day with Keely Ringo, but do not put him on the skill field of play. That is reserved for one Andrew Mukuba. Clearly, after the rest of the season, yes, he had some rookie mistakes, but Andrew Mukuba, he is primed to make a comeback. He was playing, I thought he was playing well, solid. Him and Jihad, when they were both out there, rookies making plays. But I'm extremely optimistic about Andrew Mukuba. Shout out to bro. We knew when we were at that preseason game, he had that pick 6 against the one and only Dylan Gabriel. I think it was 90-something yard pick 6. We knew Andrew Mukuba was built for the big time. And I saw something. AJ Brown. Now everybody knows the whole AJ Brown's not going to be here and all this and that. AJ Brown hasn't actually said anything that hints, I do not want to be here. AJ Brown, all AJ Brown has done is essentially did what Jeff Stoutland did Except Jeff Stoutland was like, I'm going to get out of here before y'all get me out of here. AJ Brown voiced the same frustrations as clearly the most experienced coach on the coaching staff. AJ Brown has been boys with Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith since high school. Once again, we know that Godfather, AJ's kid, Jalen Hurts connection. We get all that. So I mean, you look on the bright side, AJ actually hasn't said once, I do not want it to be here. He just wants things to get better like everyone else. Now, does he have to do his part? Absolutely. But AJ, I think I actually have, a lot more confidence this past week. Saw a post like let's think about this. So we're optimistic about Mukuba. We're optimistic about AJ. But I mean, this team, you can't win. It's really nothing you can do. And I really don't want to, I promised myself I want to talk about this team until the deadline. It's pretty much the deadline today, so we're going to do it. For those who don't know, I already talked about this on live radio yesterday, said a lot of things, about my team over WCBN, FM, Ann Arbor. Shout out to the guys. But I feel like here I have a bit more free reign to really, say what I want to say without getting fined, without getting complained about by the FCC. Jared McCain, Robert Covington, Jimmy Butler, Matisse Thybulle, JJ Redick. What do those players, Mikal Bridges, what do those players all have in common? Players that were passed up on by the Philadelphia 76ers, and in return, the production of all the players that the 76ers got in return was minimal, was less than. Daryl Morey, the superstar method of the big splash is over. It's done. I don't know why people were so freaking confused, freaking fooled by Paul George. They were confused. I mean, hey, I was blinded. I was a blind fool to James Harden, the James Harden Sixers era. As soon as it got tough, he did what he always does. He tucked and ran. Paul George starts playing good, but it's too good to be true. And of course, PED use, drugs, 25-game suspension. To top it all off, a player that may not fit not well right now into the lineup, you just trade him away for nothing. You traded him to the team that is probably going at this point to dominate the NBA for the next 15 years for a bag of chips and a leftover tampon. That, Daryl Morey, that is what you did. We forgot to mention the one and only NBA champion Isaiah Joe, former Sixer, who the Sixers also gave away for nothing, and then he proceeded to have career highs across the board. This is what the Sixers do. Sixers fans, you really have to start to realize this. With Daryl, the one thing James Harden was right about, Daryl Morey is going to sell you a dream and then completely bull jive the rest of the way. We've seen it time and time and time again. I'm sick and tired of the superstar experiment. It's over. It's done. Giannis is clearly not happening. So Daryl Morey, you might as well just get ready to pack your bags, because this team is definitely not going to the finals this year. Once again, the Sixers will have a great game against the Houston Rockets, and then 2 days later, play the Knicks or the LinkedIn Denver Nuggets and forget how to play basketball. They'll have Tyrese Maxey in clutch time looking like he's never held a basketball. They're not getting the ball to Embiid when they need to. They're not putting guys on the floor. Worst third quarter team in basketball. I don't even want to get into that Knicks game. Once again, 15-0 Knicks running the third quarter. But did Nick Nurse call a timeout? No, because Nick Nurse doesn't know what a timeout is. It's embarrassing. It's becoming sad to become a fan. Because every time there's a step forward, we're becoming the Atlanta Hawks. Every time there's a step forward, there's 3 steps backward. Those Sixers are looking great. Paul George suspension, Jared McCain traded. Like this is what we're doing right now. That's the state of this clown organization. Josh Harris, sell the team. We do not want you. Because clearly, and people say Josh Harris, look what he's doing with the Commanders. The Commanders are terrible. The Commanders have 2 star players on the roster. That's it. That's all they got. Look at the Sixers. The Sixers got 1.5 star players on the roster. And yes, I'm still counting Joel Embiid as a half player because I don't believe it. As a Sixers fan, I've seen too much to believe that, yes, a really good month and a half stretch of Joel Embiid, I don't care. Because I know in the end, the team is going to fold. There's really all there is to say. Sixers, it's embarrassing, man. When do the Phillies start playing? Because what was April 30th or March 30th, like opening day, whenever that is. Because it can't, to be this level of incompetent and to continue, and for like ownership, for general management to continue to let this to happen. I'm talking about both teams here. One organization let the best position assistant coach on the team leave because other people wanted to act brand new and dumb. The other team keeps on trying out an experiment. What's the definition of insanity? Doing something over and over, but expecting different results. That's what the other guy does. Keeps on bringing in superstar after superstar. It's not working. It's not. And then trades away the young talent. Not only just trades them away, trades them to the best teams for nothing. Daryl Morey, Exhibit A. But that's enough about my, just sorry teams right now. Let's talk about the teams that, actually, had success. Shout out Aiden. Seattle Seahawks, bit of bad news. Emmanuel Worry, aka Nick Chancellor, bit of a knee injury, but I think he'll be good. Me personally, and I know I'm going against the crowd that says New England didn't play anyone and Drake May's a fraud and he's not this, he's not that. Once again, number 5 defense, number 1 defense, number 2 defense. That is what Drake May went through to get to the big stage. Props to Sam Darnold because he did his thing, but Drake May is equally as capable of winning this game Sunday, and I believe that is what they're going to do. 27-23. I think it's going to come down to, honestly, Sam Darnold's going to have the ball last, and they're going to need a play, but the Seahawks curse is going to rise again, and you're going to have... No, I'm just kidding. I honestly think, though, it is going to come down to Sam Darnold and what he can do in the big moment. We've seen him be able to do that later this season, but, Super Bowl, I think it's going to come down to Sam Darnold, one final drive for all the marbles, but I still got New England in it, 27-23. It's going to be a battle. I'm personally excited to see JSN versus Gonzalez. I'm excited to see Milton Williams versus Charles Cross. I'm excited to see Sam Darnold, versus Mike Vrabel's defense in general. I think it's going to, Mike Vrabel's going to throw a lot of disguises. Is he going to bring the backer? Is he going to drop him out? Are they gonna, drop the lineman out into his zone coverage? Can the Patriots running game help out Drake May? Can Henderson, can Stevenson, can those guys get it going? Because I believe if they're able to, especially, Will Campbell, if they're able to get it going, especially on that left side, where Travion has had a lot of success, especially, New England could, take control of this game early. But it's going to come down to who's going to make the play. This is not going to be a blowout. People are saying that it's unserious. This is two really good teams, deserve to be here. Got competent coaching. Shout out former Michigan DC Mike McDonald. Shout out Mike Vrabel. And the guys. I don't really want to say his name, but Stephon Diggs. Speak just unseriousness. Stephon Diggs, man. But hey, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tight. Once again, can Sam Darnold get past the kind of guru mastermind Mike Vrabel? I think the DC's name, Terrence Williams, or Pat Williams, is gonna be like his first, game of the season. Contrary to what Stephen A. Smith thinks, it's going to be his first game of the season coaching. Overcame, I think, was that cancer diagnosis. He's back in New England, but this is going to be a tight one. Once again, Patriots 27, Seattle Seahawks 23. I think JSN will get a calm 7 for 70. Maybe get a tud. Because I don't think Gonzo's going to shadow. So he might, if they're dropping off 10 yards deep, he might get some slants. He might get some goes, or not goes. He might get some kind of in like short digs. Maybe some mesh concepts in there. Get AJ Barner going as well, because that's going to be really important. Michigan legend AJ Barner. But hey, man, our team could have been there. We had competent play calling, and like we see what other players are able to do, like Sam Darnold, when they have competent play calling. So why is the same standard not any different for a guy like Jalen Hurts? I'm just saying. I'm allowed to cope. Because once again, it was my guy who called for verticals with season on the line. My 5-year-old cousin could have called that play. Like, they should just hire him. Hey, we're optimistic about AJ. We're optimistic about Mukuba being developed by Fangio, even though Parker's gone. Sixers, Tyrese and VJ are still on the team, so if you want to watch those guys, that's once again the only reason I'm watching this team, because those guys are on the team. Shout out Jeff Stoutland. Once again, one of the greatest, if not the greatest, position coach, at least of the 21st century. Just look at the body of work. Look at the guys that are all pro, Pro Bowler, Hall of Fame bound. Just great work. Just great stuff. But hey, man, it's your boy, Philly Talk PA. We always keep it stacked. Always keep it a buck. See you on Monday.